As the boat traveled through the waves, it carried 6 friends: Celine, Yana, June, Sean, and Keisha. They laughed louder than the engine's roar. At the pier, locals had shaken their heads, warning them not to stay in Isla Dambana, but their youth kept them from taking the premonition seriously. By the time they reached the withering, forsaken villa, the horizon was already bleeding red. Inside, dust choked the air, and on the mantel stood 3 old clocks. Tick-tock. The sound filled the room until the exact moment the sun set. The hands froze. The silence that followed crept into their ears, but only one of them smiled, thinking it was just a harmless prank. They laughed at the suddenly stopped clocks, dismissing them as broken and damaged gears because of the island's humidity. Before midnight struck, the first body was found sprawled across the staircase. No sound nor scream was heard, just lifeless eyes staring at the rotting ceiling. June whispered shakily.
It looks like this becoming a llama.
Others tried to joke but eventually cracked. The group buried their fear in playing baraha. As a card was dealt, a lone white butterfly drifted lazily around the window, circling closer. When Celine excused herself to the bathroom and never returned, they searched only to find her face down on the murky toilet. No one laughed this time. Someone muttered, "It's like the abuloy is being taken away." Panic cracked through the villa as the group of friends hurriedly shoved furniture against doors and windows, though no one could say who they were barricading against. Then the whispers began. Low murmuring voices that sounded like prayers. The mirrors around the villa were now draped in white sheets, though none touched them. The prayers grew louder as the night deepened, weaving through the villa like a cold draft. The remaining 4 friends clung together, their breaths shallow. One of them dared to lift the corner of a draped mirror, only to find not their own reflection, but a dark room with figures kneeling in endless prayer. They screamed and let the sheet fall back. The clocks on the mantel suddenly began to tick again, but this time backwards. Each second seemed to scrape against their bones, a countdown to something none of them wanted to imagine. By dawn, one more friend was gone. It was Shan. His body was discovered outside the villa gates, posed like a saint, with hands pressed together, lips soon shut with fishing line. They heard 9 hollow rings echoing through the air. Tock, 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 9 times. They huddled together on the grass counting. One of them gasped.
Pasham, but it hasn't been 9 days yet.
His words trailed off when he realized one of their group wasn't huddled with them. By the 4th death, desperation clawed at their sanity. They lit candles that they found in the villa's chapel, whispering prayers they barely remembered from childhood. For a moment, the flame gave them courage. Then, as the wind felt silent, the candles were snuffed out all at once. The room was drowned in darkness. One muttered,
If the candle is the guide of the soul, who guided them?
Someone screamed. They trembled at every creak. One body was gone, taken or dragged. No one knew. Rain hammered the roof. Only 2 survivors were left. Although the skies had been clear before, their clothes were damp from the sudden unnatural storm. They sat at the ruined sala. Each stared at the other, suspicion curdling into certainty. Inside the villa, the air felt heavier than stone. The 2 remaining friends gathered around the dining table, a single candle trembling between them. Their faces were pale, shadows stretching long across the cracked walls. No one spoke at first. Only the faint dripping of rain echoed in the silence. Finally, Keisha's voice cracked through, brittle and sharp.
We can't pretend this is random anymore. Celine, Yana, Sean, and June, they didn't just die. Someone wanted them dead.
Nate slammed his hand on the table, the candle's flame bending.
You're saying one of us did it? That's insane. We've known each other for years. Who could do this?
Keisha's chair creaked as she leaned forward.
Then, explain the whispers, the mirrors, the clocks. This isn't just a person, it's something else, something the locals tried to warn us about.
You planned this.
Nate spat.
You brought us here despite the warnings.
No,
Keisha hissed.
you were always the first to identify the clues to each killings. You knew before anyone else.
The rain outside had softened to a mist, but the villa's walls still groaned under the weight of the storm. In the dining hall, Keisha and Nate sat close to the guttering candle, the last fragile flame between them and the dark. Neither spoke at first. Their faces were hollow, eyes sunken from sleepless nights and too many screams left unanswered. Nate stared into the flame, his knuckles white where his hands gripped the edge of the table. He didn't argue this time. His voice was steady, almost too calm.
You're right. It isn't random. We were warned, but we didn't listen. Now it feels like the island itself is hunting us.
The candle sputtered, shadows twitching across their faces. Keisha shivered.
Then, it won't stop. Not until we're gone too.
Nate finally lifted his eyes to hers, and for a moment, the room seemed to tighten around them.
Then we fight. We don't hide. We don't split up. We don't give it what it wants. If it wants us dead, it's going to have to try harder.
For the first time since the trip began, Keisha managed a thin, broken laugh.
Us against whatever this is. Just the two of us.
A white butterfly drifted between them, with its wings held a faint glow from the candle's ash. Then, the draped sheet fell from the broken mirror. Only one reflection smiled.
Nakakringe ako sa sadiri ko. Oh my.